Hundreds of fans gathered at an airport on Sunday to sing songs in favor of the South African ambassador, who was expelled from the United States and proclaimed persona non grata by the Trump administration. Please kindly subscribe to our channel. Do not forget to hit on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. When Ebrahim Rasool and his wife Rosieda appeared at their hometown's arrivals terminal, they were encircled by throngs at Cape Town International Airport and required a police escort to help them go through the structure. Rasool used a microphone to address the fans, saying, "A declaration of persona non grata is meant to humiliate you. However, I will wear my persona non grata as a badge of dignity when you return to crowds like this, with warmth like this. We return home without regrets, even though it was not our decision to do so." Prior to the decision to deport Rasool, President Donald Trump had chastised South Africa and accused it of adopting an anti-American position. Thus, Rasool said that it was critical that the nation mend its ties with the United States. Last month, the U.S. president signed an executive order halting all aid to South Africa, claiming that its government is pursuing anti-white policies at home and aiding Iran and the Palestinian organization Hamas. Rasool addressed the audience, saying, "We don't come here to say we are anti-American. We are not here to demand that you abandon our ties to the United States." They were the former ambassador's first public remarks since the Trump administration revoked his diplomatic credentials and immunities, proclaimed him persona non grata more than a week ago, and gave him until this Friday to depart the United States. Expulsion of a foreign ambassador by the United States is very uncommon. In a post on X on March 14th, U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio labeled Rasool persona non grata. Rasool, according to Rubio, is a race-baiting politician who despises both Trump and the U.S. The conservative news outlet Breitbart published an article on Rasool's speech during a webinar hosted by South African think group, which Rubio's tweet linked to. Rasool used scholarly terminology to discuss the Trump administration's attacks on immigration, diversity, and equality initiatives. He also raised the prospect of a U.S. in which white people may soon no longer make up the majority. The MAGA movement, the Make America Great Again movement, and the supremacist assault on incumbency are responses not just to a supremacist instinct, but to very clear data that shows great demographic shifts in the USA, where the voting electorate is projected to become 48% white, Rasool stated in the talk. He claimed he stood by those remarks when he returned home on Sunday, characterizing them as just warning South African political leaders and academics that the U.S. and its politics had changed. "Our language needs to change because it is a different U.S. and not the U.S. of Obama or Clinton," Rasool said. "We were examining a political phenomenon, not a person, a country, or even a government, so I would stand by my analysis." Additionally, he said that South Africa will not bow to pressure from the United States or anybody else to withdraw its lawsuit against Israel at the International Court of Justice, which accused the country of committing genocide against Palestinians in Gaza. That lawsuit against U.S. partner Israel is one of the reasons the Trump administration claims South Africa is anti-American. Rubio used a Breitbart article published by Joel Pollack, a Jewish senior editor-at-large from South Africa and a Trump administration buddy, to announce Rasool's deportation. According to South African media, Pollack is also a candidate to become the next U.S. ambassador to South Africa. Rasool, a Muslim from Cape Town, was greeted by several fans who waved Palestinian flags and yelled "Free Palestine." As of right now, Israel would not be exposed and the Palestinians would have no hope if South Africa had not been in the International Court of Justice, Rasool said. The bombing in Gaza and the shooting have continued. We will not abandon our relationship with the United States, but we also cannot sacrifice the Palestinians. We must maintain our dignity while fighting for it. In another recent political incident in South Africa, former President Jacobzuma has been publicly condemned by Juliusmalema, the leader of the Economic Freedom Fighters, EFF, who has called him a backstabber. This censure comes amid conjecture over possible coalitions and the changing nature of the nation's leftist political groups. The discussion revolves on Zuma's new political party, Umkhonto we Sizwe, MK, which has gained prominence after its strong showing in the most recent elections, when it received almost 15% of the vote. Despite having similar views on matters like nationalization and land expropriation, Malema has